Ladies and gentlemen, our third bout of the evening is sticking with boxing, and it's set for 3 2-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Let's meet our fighters first. Bringing his way to the cage, please welcome Darien Robinson.
Our third of 4 boxing matches brings us Darien Robinson making his way to the cage. This 155-pound bout.
Yeah, Darien Robinson, also his debut. Well-rounded fighter for those that have seen him fight before. We have not. This will be the first. All the temperatures, JR, I'm thinking 93 during the day. It's going to be a hot one, but just perfect breezes. I mean, you couldn't have ordered it any better for an outdoor venue.
It has cooled down nicely.
And his opponent, fighting out of the nutrition company of Cheyenne Blue Corner, please welcome Joshua Jolly.
JR, we're going to have much like we had in our first fight. In the first fight, you had a fighter that was fighting in his 8th fight. You saw the experience go in, had some things to work on. Going to see that here because you see a fighter in Josh Jolly that's had 4 fights.
Jolly just a little bit taller, a little bit of experience advantage in life at 26 versus 21. And well-rounded listed for Darien Robinson versus freestyle listed for Jolly.
Which is kind of funny as a debut fighter because unless you named yourself that you were well-rounded, how do you know that? But it is what it is. Jolly's 26 years old. He's a little bit older, 5 years. Again, he's got 4 fights in his side of the ledger. And anytime you have that fight experience, especially early on, just in the crowd here, this is something that, heck, even the UFC hasn't had so far. And that's a crowd, JR. And what a difference it makes. You and I have watched a lot of fights over the last couple of months, and you miss that element. There's some cool things, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
Listen to the corners, listen to instructions. You got to have kind of codes. But to have just the rumble of fans is nice, isn't it?
Yep. A lot of fighters draw from that crowd, that's for sure.
You know, I was wondering about that. Gaethje's a guy that grinds up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this super welterweight boxing bout is brought to you by Hotspot Chili. Let's meet our fighters first. Fighting out the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner from Las Vegas, Nevada, representing CS MMA, Darien Deuces Robinson.
Deuces.
And his opponent, fighting out the nutrition company of Cheyenne Blue Corner, from Torrington, Wyoming, representing Black Hole MMA and Boxing, Joshua Stonehands Jolly.
Not hands of stone, but stone hands.
Stone hands.
Come on over here, sir. Come on over here, sir. Gentlemen, you've had your final instructions. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. From here up, legal. From here up, legal. Any questions, gentlemen? Touch them up. Back to your corners, please.
All right, it's black and green for Robinson versus the black and red of Jolly. Referee Oscar Martinez, one of the head coaches for Drew Dober, who we've seen have UFC success recently. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Drew's look great. And you know, your trunks match your hair. That's a good thing. It's hard to do. Well, the debut fighter comes up and starts throwing leather right away and hit him with a nice right hand.
Jolly knows he's in a fight right away.
Oh, yeah. Straight rights getting through as well. A little bit of power. Left-handed jab.
Both guys throwing with power. I'll say they both of them look a little bit tight.
Yeah.
Starting immediately here. Gonna take a moment, hopefully loosen up here a little bit.
Robinson, you can expect that from being a debut fight.
Yeah.
Jolly knows he's in one. Boy, Jolly's throwing him right there, but a nice short right scores by Robinson.
Yeah, Jolly went for a 4-punch combo to the body and left his hands down a body level, allowed Robinson to come over the top.
For a debut fighter, he's using that jab very nicely.
Yeah, there it was.
Yep, there it is again. It's keeping Jolly off balance, but he's coming in. He came in a little awkward there. Overhand right connects, but just grazes, then to the body. Ooh, overhand right followed that jab, then comes with an uppercut, JR,
and
a
a
big
right hand staggers Jolly.
Knows he's got trouble, too. 35 seconds left in this opening round.
I think maybe the cage held Jolly up there.
I think you're right. Robinson's got the power of the two. There's no doubt there.
Yeah, he really does, and he caught Jolly as he was coming in and just shifted him backward.
A little blood now on the chest of Stonehands. He's taking some punishment in this first round. Robinson announcing his presence with authority so far. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, trying to split the guard, coming right up the middle. And starting to wear a little bit of a mask of blood is Jolly. So Jolly's corner got a little cleanup work to do in addition to their coaching. Man, if you're Robinson's corner, you're just patting your fighter on the back saying, hey, nicely done.
Yeah, you're right. He came out a little tight, JR, but he loosened up. Once he hit the first couple combinations and you take a little shot, all of a sudden you could almost see him loosen up.
Loosened up, started snapping the jab a little bit instead of throwing everything with knockout intentions. And Robinson really good with his right hand. That's primarily what he's done most of his damaging strikes with, setting it up with the jab, and then the right hand comes in.
You know, these young fighters, the one thing, too, that takes them a little while is you're not going to knock everybody out. There's the best punch of the fight so far, but you set up those power punches with that jab, and he really started doing that as the fight went on.
And Robinson, as we've seen with some other fighters, not taking the stool between rounds, and he is the one coming up in altitude. Being from Vegas versus the fighter in Torrington, who's basically across the street. Not quite, but
I hear you.
You get my point.
I got you. Let's see how aggressive Robinson is after getting that first round done.
And Robinson loosening up in his footwork, you can see it.
Yep.
He's feeling it now.
Yep, moving very good. Look at the jab with the movement.
And again, that just solid thudding right hand. And Robinson changes the right hand. Sometimes he throws the two, sometimes he throws the hook.
There was the hook there. 1-2 combination. That got through the guard. Little uppercut there.
Uppercut there off the right hand. So Robinson mixing his punches nicely. And again, almost everything he's setting up off of the jab.
Big overhand right scored as well. Jolly let one go there, but couldn't get it to score. Two overhand rights.
His head snapped around a little bit again.
Jolly's back to bleeding again, that bloody nose. He's trying to move around, try to see what he can do, but Robinson's had all the answers so far. Jab combination followed by an overhand right again, JR.
And Jolly's starting to bear his weight on his heels a little bit. He's off balance here. Doesn't quite have his legs underneath him anymore.
Yeah, almost fell down. There's that thudding right hand you were talking about.
Yeah, you can see it as Jolly was backing up there, just
he's
a little bit rubbery on the legs, and there he staggered, started to fold, but kept himself up.
17 seconds left in this round, and it's all been Robinson.
Corner Robinson begging for body shots there at the end of that flurry.
Nice left hook, followed by an overhand right. Jolly still staying in there. He's taking a lot of punishment for this first 2 rounds, and it's over. Still a little unsteady.
Now they found the button on the air horn.
Boy, he's wearing that blood, boy. Well, one thing about a bloody nose, when you get it early, it doesn't stop.
Checking out the replay here, and pretty much no matter where you look at in the round, it's going to be a lot of Robinson jabbing and then following up nicely, and that's where he started to buckle the legs to Jolly. And kudos to Jolly for keeping his feet underneath him because he was hurt there, but keeping himself in the fight. Fight doctor Alex Constantinides over there taking a look at things but doesn't seem concerned. So,
yeah, JR, when you can't get your legs to work properly for you, it's a problem because it all starts with that. Whether you pivot, you're moving left to right, you got to have your feet underneath you. Robinson's taking it away from him.
Yeah, and you can't be fighting in the center of the cage or the center of the ring when your legs are gone. You have to either plant your feet and stay in one spot, which makes you even more of a target, or put your back up against the ropes, which makes you even more of a target.
Yep.
So once you've lost your ability to have that footwork, man, it's just so damaging to the entirety of your game.
Jolly had his best punch of the fight right there, JR.
But Robinson follows up quickly.
Oh, yeah, big overhand right there in the corner again. Robinson would like to get a finish here if he can. Jolly's coming in strong. He knows that he's got to get a finish.
Robinson doing a nice job of going back and forth between snappy punches and power punches. He's mixing it well, and he's not telegraphing which it is going to be.
No, and the other thing he's doing, he's getting in and out, JR. He's not staying in one place too long. He's showing a lot of good things for a debut fighter. He's obviously put in a lot of rounds at the gym with some good fighters.
Yeah, that CS gym having a good showing here with their debut fighter, no doubt.
Big, powerful overhand right there through the guard. Circling to that left, circling to the left and throwing the left jab is hard to control. Jolly just takes one, he tries to wade in and gets a punch and just can't land one.
Yeah, Jolly's in the unfortunate position that knowing he needs a knockout in order to win here, so everything that he throws, he almost has to throw it with full power, and that's allowing Robinson to see it coming.
Under a minute left in this third round of this fight. 3 of 4 boxing matches on the card tonight from Cheyenne, Sparta. I also like the fact when Robinson does get tagged, he comes right back.
Yeah, immediately shows the judges, hey, that's what he had. Here's just a little more for me. So let's not start thinking he's pulling ahead.
Robinson continues to throw that jab out there, measuring Jolly, and then follows it with the overhand right. He's throwing combinations as well. Jolly's game staying in here, and he's been in this third round better than the first two, as a matter of fact.
Well, a couple of good shots landed for Jolly in this round, but it's just not going to be enough as Robinson going to take this one walking away.
Tell you what, Jolly can take some punishment, no doubt. Fighters congratulating each other, and I think there's a little blood over everywhere, Mr. Jolly.
Jolly with almost looking like a bit of an Irish jig there at the end.
I don't know what that was. I guess showing that he's still on his feet. The third round was his best round.
Agreed.
Good showing for a debut fighter.
Yeah, I'm hopeful we'll get to see some more work out of Mr. Robinson. Checking out the replay here, and Jolly, like you said, it was the best round for him. He knew he needed a knockout, and he came out trying to pressure forward the whole round. But Robinson just had a read on everything that Jolly was trying to throw, and able to be offensive, able to throw the counter strikes when necessary.
He never got momentum. He would land one, JR, but as soon as he would land one, Robinson came back, and as you said, with a little bit more authority.
Looks like Big Mo has the word.
Usually when there's a decision that quickly and Big Mo's up in the ring, we're pretty right on. You know, we got the red corner, I think, is going to be 3-0 here.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for your decision. The judges scored about 30 to 27, 30 to 27, and 29 to 28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Darien Deuces Robinson.
Nice sportsmanship there by Jolly, and congratulations to Mr. Robinson. We talked about the drive home. He's probably got the longest of the night going back to Vegas, so gets to do it with the win on